Hi, everybody. How are you doing today? Well, we are looking at our entrepreneurial potential. So let me go ahead and go over this PowerPoint. I have a lot of PowerPoints for us today. So here's our first one. You see it okay? Okay. Assessing your entrepreneurial potential. So maybe you're a young entrepreneur. You could look at some of the former entrepreneurs here, like Atlantic, Prick's president, wins the BDC Young Entrepreneur of the Year. You can see some of the ideas they have. Okay. You can click on these if you want to see it. Sometimes they'll interview people that have got awards before, and that's pretty cool. You can see exactly what was said, what they did, how they got the recognition. Here's another one. We have fashion boutique owner or jewelry maker. So some of these are like real simple businesses, but yet you're making revenue, you're making money. Hopefully, you're making more money than you put into it. And if that's the case, then that's awesome. And then at a certain point, you may want to hire people to work under you, or you may want to reinvest your money in a secondary business. It's up to you. Students and young entrepreneurs, over 100,000 businesses are started in Ontario each year, with the youth entering the marketplace at 3 times the rate of entrepreneurs over 45. Almost a third of Canada's youth-owned enterprises are located in Ontario. Most desirable profession for Canadians. A lot of people in Canada want to be doctors, and then comes teachers, police, nurses, firefighters, pilots, TV and radio personalities, CEOs, accountants, armed forces, and pharmacists. Challenges facing young entrepreneurs. Well, if you're just starting off and you don't have a background on it, you could lose a lot of money. You could lose a lot of time. And people say time is money. And even if you're a multimillionaire and you have lots of money to spend, you don't have lots of time because every single person in the world, regardless of who you are, you only get 24 hours in the day. We have experience, knowledge, funds, no credit history, and no collateral. We have challenges facing young entrepreneurs. We have a lack of money, lack of experience and knowledge, confidence, credit history, collateral, no track record, red tape, energies, adult attitudes, not taking you seriously, skills, peer pressure, accurate self-assessment, and establishing goals. How can an entrepreneur get experience? Well, you could get it through part-time. You could do it with summer work, you do volunteer or school leadership positions. How to gain experience, like I said, you could do it with the part-time job. You could do it with summer work, volunteer work, school leadership positions. We could learn about infrastructures, benefits your future business. We could develop con contacts, networking, savings, and first-hand knowledge. What skills have you learned in your past? You could create a team of 4 people, find a spot in the Blackboard, write down all the skills you learned in your past. The goals. You have a wish versus a goal. Stepping stone versus milestone. Stepping stone versus milestone. Stepping stone is like trying to get to the next spot, and milestone is actually like a landmark. Okay, those are stepping stone versus milestones. So stepping stone would be like getting some experience in school on your volleyball team versus actually making it as a team. So maybe you're actually a team player now. Goals. What are SMART goals? Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. They're worthwhile. Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time bound. Intention, what do you want to achieve? I want to lose weight. Maybe specific, who, what, when, where, how, why, when. I want to eat a healthy diet at home and school. Measurable, how much, how often, how many. About 3 healthy meals a day, no snacks in between meals. Is it achievable? Yes. Is it relevant? About ultimately, yes. Time bound by when? 2 months. I want to set goals, make a plan, get to work, stick to it, reach a goal. Yeah, or maybe want to prepare. Hmm. Prepared. I want you to prepare a list of things that you think that you would like to have or do. And you can rank your wishes in the order of priority and set a target date for achievement of each. You want to rank your wishes in order of priority and set a target date for the achievement of each. You can cross out those impossible to attain. You can hand in your 2 SMART goals. Why set goals for future eventually arrives in the present, whether you plan it or not. Attitude. The longer I live, the more I realize the impact of attitude on life. Attitude for me is important than facts. It's more important than the past and education, the money and circumstances and failures and successes, and what other people think or say or do. It's more important than appearance, giftedness, or skill. A make or break a company, a church alone. We cannot change the fact that other people will act in a certain way. We cannot change the inventable. The only thing we can do is play on one string we have, and that's our attitude. I'm convinced that life is 10% what happens to me and 90% how I react to it. And that's you. We're in charge of our attitude. Attitude survey. The following survey will help you assess attitude toward others and toward situations you might find yourself. You can say yes, usually yes, sometimes no, usually no and no. Are you feeling friendly, outgoing? Do you avoid being a complainer? Can you be optimistic when others are depressed? And do you refrain from boasting or bragging? Do you have a sense of duty and responsibility? Do you control your temper? Do you speak well of your employer or your parents? Do you feel well most of the time? Do you follow directions willingly, asking questions when necessary? Do you keep promises? Do you organize your work and stay on schedule? Do you readily admit your mistakes? Can you be a leader without being bossy? Is it easy for you to like most people? Can you stick to a tiresome task without being prodded? Do you know your weakness and attempt to correct them? Can you stand being teased? Do you avoid feeling sorry for yourself? Are you courteous of others? Are you neat in your personal appearance and work habits? Do you respect the opinions of others? Are you a good loser? Can you adapt to new and unexpected situations readily? Are you tolerant of other people? Are you the type of friend that you expect others to be? Can you disagree without being disagreeable? Are you punctual? Do you plan on driving carefully? Do you generally speak well of others? Can you take criticism without being resentful or feeling hurt? Are you careful to pay back all the money, however small? Do you generally look at the bright side of things? Does your voice sound cheerful? Can you work with people you dislike? Are you pleasant to others even when you feel displeased about something? Do you show enthusiasm for interests of others? Do you tend to be enthusiastic about whatever you do? Are you honest, sincere with others? If you're able to score yourself 175 to 200, you're terrific. If you scored about 150 to 174, your attitude is with others is admirable. 110 to 149, your attitude needs polishing in certain areas. Below 110, you got to take a closer look at your attitude. You might need to pay particular attention to those. How can negative attitudes be changed to positive attitudes? We could get some examples. You could look at something like success in the workplace. You could look at SWOT analysis with your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and also the threats. So maybe you look at internal origin, helpful, harmful, strengths, weakness, external origin, opportunities, and threats. Positive, staff, customer base, market position, financial resources, sales channels, product services, profitable growing strength, opportunity, new complementary market, strategic alliance, funding, sales, product services, manager acquisition, market poised for growth, competition weakness, negative staff, profit margins to the low, financial resources, competitive vulnerability, market position, lack of new product services, sales channels, threats, economy, loose key staff, lack of financial resources, cash flow, new technology, increased competition, and new government regulations, and failing sales, decreasing profits. SWOT analysis. You can look at personality style. You can go to the following website with the Myers-Briggs typology. Have you guys ever done that? These are like little tests you can take, online test. Sometimes you could take them different days and get different results. And as you answer the questions, read carefully and watch your wording. If you don't know what the word means, just ask. And when you're finished, you could print it out and you could take it again in a couple months and see if you've changed your mind. Sometimes our personality changes depending on what we're going through and how the day goes. Oh, you can ask yourself, what kind of personality type are you? And look at the careers your personality type would fit in well. And maybe you have a boyfriend, girlfriend, have them do the test also. Do your personalities, are they compatible? A lot of times people say if you're introverted, you're going to be with the extrovert. If you're extrovert, you're going to be with the introvert. You can move into groups with other people of your same personality type, discuss what you learned about yourself, and you'd be amazed that people are so different. They're so much alike. Fun prayers for Myers, Briggs, you know, these are different types of prayers people have depending on the personalities. Different thinking styles. What's your personal thinking style? You go to the following website. What's your personal thinking style? You could go to the following website and test to determine your style. Discussion, move into groups with other people of your personality type. Discuss what you learned about yourself. You'd be amazed that other people are so different, but yet alike. You could look at careers of your personality type, would they work well in? And discuss with others your personality type, whether you agree with the findings. If not, do you think you answered all the questions honestly and correctly? If not, your end results would be wrong. Oops, sorry, I went the wrong way. Getting to know yourself. Are you a fault finder and a good finder? Okay, now it's time for a video. How entrepreneurs can unlock their potential. The TED Talk.
Dear Maisie, it's your last day of second grade. You've grown so much this year.
At Tractor Supply, we're all about helping you get more projects done for less. You'll find incredible prices on the tools you need from the brands you trust, like DeWalt, Makita, Porter Cable, and more. Stock your shop today and turn your to-do list into your done list at Tractor Supply.
It's not working. Oh, I hate when this happens.
My theory is this. I can't understand about innovation.
Great. The new GoDaddy Arrow has AI marketing tools to help small businesses easily reach thousands of customers.
All right, so this would be like women in STEM. If you want to start up a STEM, which is science and technology, engineering and mathematics, women. In the past, women were not in this field. It's mostly a men's field. Now it's more equal, both. Anybody can join. This module, you'll find out what you have to see if you can be a STEM entrepreneur and if having your own business is the right professional choice for you. We're going to introduce you to an online series of 7 assessments. You can define your goals and steps you need to acquire them. It doesn't stop here. You're going to reflect on if your qualities are the right personality traits and qualities considered compatible with successful entrepreneur. You discover what motivates you, what makes you tick, and how resilient are you. You're going to learn formal approaches to validating and incubation STEM entrepreneur ideas. Section 1, entrepreneurial potential, personality, self-motivation, strengths and weaknesses, leadership and resilience. Section 2, validating and incubating STEM entrepreneurship ideas. Never give up your dreams just because you're a girl and that you don't have any support from anyone. Dina Vendrell, the founder and CEO of Anabytes, said that. Section 1, entrepreneurial potential, personality, and self-motivation. We have strengths, weaknesses, leadership, and resilient test. It's kind of like that SWOT analysis taken to the next level. You want to assess your STEM entrepreneurial potential, learn skill and innate talent. Women in STEM are creative, insightful, problem-solving leaders, and born to be entrepreneurs. STEM field provide unparalleled value to the way in which entrepreneur works, boosting common sense and decision-making business skills. You have learned to trust yourself and to get the facts, and you will strive to inspire others on the road to discovery and solutions. In STEM, you experiment, test hypotheses, analyze results, and iterate. These skills are the bedrock of entrepreneurship. You want to assess your STEM entrepreneurial potential. Just as it happens in engineering, entrepreneurs start with small goal. They have to break down into smaller, more achievable parts. If you're a computer scientist building a web platform, you have to imagine the final site. But in order to begin, you need to break down the Java script line by line in order to eventually reach your final goal. Likewise, entrepreneurs need the ability to connect seemingly unrelated topics to create one coherent solution. You can assess your STEM entrepreneurial potential. Entrepreneurial self-assessment, what you need to know if you're starting a leading company, it's beneficial to know yourself inside and out. Assessing yourself with professional self-assessment tools can help you understand how to work best so you can make appropriate changes, help your stakeholders to understand what motivates and drives you, help you recognize when you need help you choose to hire to complement your strengths and weaknesses. Assess STEM and entrepreneurial potential. Why are personality tests so important to aspiring entrepreneur? Self-assessment help individuals get in touch with their core competencies are and how they overlap with what's needed to take on running a business. While your personality is highly relevant to your success, it is not the only defining factor in which you explore the greater detail in training module. We now introduce you to an online series of 7 assessments where you can define your entrepreneurial aptitude and goals of what your skills need to progress. Exercise 1. Do you have what it takes to be an entrepreneur? Starting a business can be rewarding and enriching experience. However, it might not be the right professional choice for you. Before making a leap, take some time to find out whether opportunities and challenges of entrepreneur fit with your personality. This test will evaluate your entrepreneurial traits as concerns motivations and aptitudes and attitudes. You could take this assessment here, click on it. It won't let me click because we're on the Zoom. Okay. Do you have what it takes to be an entrepreneur? You can look at the entrepreneur equation. It's a New York Times bestselling book that provides exercise assessments to help you assess your personality, vice versa entrepreneurship, as well as your mindset, timing, and particular opportunity. Exercise 2, the author Carol Roth put together the interactive online quiz to see if your personality trait compares to the popular profile of today's successful entrepreneurs. What kind of entrepreneur are you? An entrepreneur personality test is designed to assess the personality traits associated with entrepreneurial ability in order to provide insight to the current qualities possessed by the candidate and are considered to be compatible with successful entrepreneurial careers across the heading of achievement striving, industriousness, passion taking, control, and creativity. What kind of entrepreneur are you? These summaries provided entrepreneur questionnaire will give you understanding of the strengths characteristics they already possess, as well as bearing the area that require achievement, improvement in order to aid the development of a successful entrepreneurial career. What makes you tick? Self-motivation assessment is where you're finding out what makes you tick, what pulls you toward things you're going for, and there are 9 main motivators that pull you toward your goals. Keep running along with the darkest hour. And they provide energy inside to stay enlightened. These self-motivators keep you striving forward or even on tough days. They're autonomy, mastery, meaning, power, recognition, stability, status, and teamwork. You could do the 9 types of motivational in the article. You want to look at your strengths and weaknesses. What are your entrepreneurial strengths and weaknesses? The strength and weaknesses aptitude test is a tool to help you get a better look at who you are and how much you could grow. You will define your 5 strengths. You will define and understand the most presenting weaknesses. And then exercise 5 would be your strengths and weakness aptitude test. You could test yourself. The test will help you measure the 5 key aspects of leadership: organization, responsibility, transformational leadership, assertiveness, and resourcefulness. Leadership test is a 50-item self-report psychometric test, which aims to assess and evaluate specific personality characteristics that have been linked to successful leadership. The responses are analyzed and presented with a summary of what each trait score implies about candidates' abilities. Using the feedback, individuals are able to identify their strengths and aim towards improving areas that may currently require further development. How resilient are you? You can do resilience tests. This is a questionnaire. It measures 5 key personality traits, which predict resilience to stress and adversity, adaptability, self-control, self-efficiency, optimism, and persistence. The resilience test is formed through 50 statements that have been designed to determine the strengths of certain personality traits to provide greater understanding of their characteristics, helping them promote self-improvement by presenting possible areas of limitation. Resilience is more important than ever to be able to keep us with the changes or accept difficulties when presented with a challenging situation. Validating and incubating STEM entrepreneurship ideas. Okay, the idea of validation and proof concept process is the key to figuring out potential, the risk, and how much a game changer your business idea is. Validating, incubating STEM ideas, some headline principle, best practice learning before we formally look at the validating, incubating your STEM business idea. Focus on solving real problems rather than building technologies. And many entrepreneurs lose valuable time and money in developing concept or an application technology. Only you find the technology didn't create value for the users. The best way to address the problem is to talk about those affected by it. Seek about 40 to 50 people before committing to approach, and keep in mind, and don't be afraid to change directions. Experiment stages. Every industry, every business faces constant changes. As you evolve your business from idea to start, experiment in stages, make small changes and pilot projects to try out new ideas before committing the whole enterprise to them. When evaluate results, your experiment may see if it had predicted effect or make adjustments if it did not. Grow what works and prune what doesn't. Find the metrics that matter most. Hard work diluted over multiple directions is not likely to lead great results. Spend some time thinking through what success really looks like for your business and which numbers you need to move to be really successful. Then create a strategy that focuses on those elements. That's a better recipe for success than pursuing every opportunity comes along. Build relationships early. Start developing relationships with seasoned entrepreneurs, mentors, and investors as early as you can. It's important not only to speak with customers and end users, but also connect with experienced people in the ecosystem. Evaluating your innovation or business. 7-step process before we develop into 7 steps to validate your business idea. The next slide looks over complete progression and gives an overview of the evaluation of each. The model then takes through the learning, validate your business. Validate your business. Is your business idea a new one? Or refine niche idea, define, fine-tune your idea, its benefits and features. Macro tests, gauge competitors, market, pit advantage. Micro tests, get feedback, define your market, test and analyze your market, target market validations, get control of your financial parameters, evaluate customer acquisition cost, undertake a proof of concept process, Plan and build MVP. Think outside the box on design. Pre-launch. Involve customer early. Plot. Test beta test. Market test. Analyze feedback. Involve customers early. Plot test. Beta test. Analyze feedback. Your business model, competitive advantage, laws, regulations, constraints, intellectual property protection, financial investment requirements, initial business plan, get in contact with business development agency, help you every step of the way, business plan, business advice, financial supports and options. Educate yourself, training, benefits and mentoring, financing. Financing, getting investor ready, collaboration for success. The best business comes from people's bad experiences. If you keep your eye then you think, well, I can maybe do it better and it's becoming done. And there you have business. Idea validation. It's that process of testing and validating your idea prior to launching your business, your product, or your service. It can also be used to test your business name and branding. Validation is designed to give you reasonable certainty your business will have a sustainable growing, paying customer base in short time period rather than wasting money, months and years. Building a financial product nobody wants to pay for as much as you're thinking a step-by-step process. So what is the idea validation? Well, the end validation attempts to achieve a basic proof of concept of your idea, a minimum viable product that solves the most simple form of the problem you're attempting to address. Validation isn't a guarantee of success, and it most certainly isn't easy. Validation is designed to give you your first paying customers and foundation of future growth. It takes work to build confidence and inspire trust and convince the community that you'll be able to deliver enough value in exchange for the price you're asking. Okay, so the biggest mistake that new entrepreneurs make is not putting themselves out there. If you want to succeed as an entrepreneur, you need to show others what you're doing. Top entrepreneurs share the best business tips for success. Idea development, concept development. We have idea development, concept development, concept to launch, discovery, scooping, build, business case, development, testing, validation, and launch. Idea validation is iterative. The workflow of your project would be idea validation, modified idea, execution, repeat. A similar process applies whenever you're thinking of adding a new feature to existing product or pivoting your offering to something else. The bottom line is do your research and never stop talking the feedback to ideas. And then we validate your business idea, interview with Nasha Shea. Have an idea to change the universe. It's time to call up investors, assemble a team. Stop right there. Before plunging into execution, you should confirm that you're solving a problem and meeting a need that people want to pay for. Idea validation should be done on both micro and macro levels. If you're right to do it, you won't need to spend your PayPal balance on that. Naisha's keys tips here is look for it. Does it really exist? Even the simplest search on the keywords of your product or service could be on Google or YouTube. Can yield interesting results if it exists, and do not give up on your inspiration. Perhaps there's always improve existing product. Can you offer value to a business already producing it? Could a market be satisfied better, smarter? If you applied yes, move on to the next step. The macro test. Validate the big picture first. How large is the market? Who are your potential competitors? Are you differentiated enough? Check the Google Trends. Sign up for Google Alerts. Sign up for Google AdWords and Keyword Planner. Google XYZ Industry Report or XYZ Market Analysis and get stats and data about your market. Pay attention to the related search terms Google shows you at the bottom of your research page. Do your research on the company that does something similar to yours and competitors. Google product X versus research. And then can you answer these questions? What you want to find in this stage is not necessarily a large market size, but rather, is there an upward trend in your volume? Industry growth related to your idea? Can you find existing players in your market that are already doing well to demonstrate there is an indeed market demand? Are there meaningful differences between what's in the market and what you're thinking of offering? I don't know for sure yet. It seems to be a good enough for now. Micro test. It's time that Steve Blank put out, get out the building, go and talk to 20 people that have your idea. Open with, hi, I'm a researcher doing project XYZ. Can I ask you for a few questions? Ask your trustworthy, honest friends and family to ask them for their honest feedback. Yeah, micro test. If they say yes, the next question is, do they use XYZ product in your competitor? Why or why not? When do they use XYZ? Is there anything frustrating about XYZ? Their answers will tell you if there's a target customer, if there's anything missing in the market you can offer. Once you understand what you're talking to, explain your idea to them and ask, what do you think of this? And then shut up and listen. Be very suspicious when people tell you that's a great idea. This could be a thumbs down. If really, ask why. 9 ways to validate your idea. Ryan Robinson embarked in a 30-day challenge to validate a business idea. He limited his spending to less than 500, and that can happen. And you could do it too. What do you have to lose? So you can look at profitable niche, leverage your strength, and outsource your weakness. Create an early feedback group. Have a one-on-one conversation with your target market. Develop a competitive advantage. Grow your email list. Build a proof of concept and launch and get pre-orders of your email list. Continue building and tweaking your feedback. 9 ways validate your business idea. There's a few top questions that you want to be asking your target market with the goal of learning more about your motivations and needs as it pertains to business idea. What are you looking for to achieve as it pertains to your topic area? What is your current solutions you're using or used in the past? What frustrates you the most about your current solutions out there? What features would you most like to see if it pertains to your topic area? Do you have any fears as it pertains to your topic area? What's holding you back? Would you be willing to pay for a solution that XYZ does for you? You could even do a Google Sheet. You could validate your business idea by the task of microtest. Good ideas are validated from discussing amongst peers, teams, and other communities of interest. You can start by getting early feedback from your target market and make sure you're doing and building something they actually need and want that for them to pay for. Step 1, develop an initial list of consultees. Minimum 20. What do you think about your idea? So you can get a good idea about your pitch. The main problems you're seeking to address, finding out your competitors, identifying frustration. Be prepared and write up a list of specific questions, starting with the how, the what, the why, the when, the who, the where, who was involved, what happened, where did it take place, when did it take place, and why did it happen. Robinson developed a list of 20 key questions that you can adapt. You want to validate your business idea. You could treat questions like a checklist. They can be answered at different stages of the startup process. Here are some questions to get you started. What problem are you solving? How many specific benefits in your product or idea can you list? Can you state in clear language the key features of your product or service? Who are your potential competitors? What key features does my product have that others will have a hard time copying? And do you have access to various sources you need to launch in the business? Define your target market. The more narrow you can define your target market, the better. The process is known as creating a niche, and the key to success is even the biggest companies. There are two basic markets you can sell: customer B2C and business B2B. Make a wish list. With whom do you want to do business? Be specific as you can. Identify the graphic range and the types of business or customers you want your business to target. If you don't know whom you want your business with, you can make contact. You must recognize that you can't do business with everyone. Cautious Frankenstein. Otherwise, you risk exhausting yourself and confusing your customers. Define your target market. Focus. Clarify what you want to sell. Remembering, you can't be all things to all people, and smaller is bigger. To begin with focusing the process, Frankenstein suggests using these techniques to help you. Make a list of what you to do best and the skills implement each of them. List your achievements. Identify the important lessons you've learned in life. Look for patterns that reveal your approach to resolving problems. Your needs should arise naturally from your interests and experience. Define your target market. Describe the customers worldwide. A successful business uses Frankenstein calls platinum rule. When you look at the world from your prospective customer perspective, you can identify the needs and the wants. The best way you can do this is to talk to prospective customers and identify their concerns. You want to define your target market. At this stage, your niche should begin with the shape of your ideas and the client's needs to coincide with the create something new. A good niche has 5 qualities. It takes you where you want to go. In other words, it conforms to your long-term vision. Somebody else wants it, namely customers. It's carefully planned, is one of a kind, only game in town. It evolves, allowing you to develop different profit centers and retain the core businesses, thus ensuring long-term success. Define your target market. You want to evaluate. Now it's time to evaluate your proposed product or service against the 5 criteria, step 4. Perhaps you find a niche that you had in mind requires more development resources that you're ready for. That means it doesn't fulfill one of the above criteria. Scrape it and move on to the next one. Test the target market validations. Target market validation is a series of interviews of people in your target market. These interviews are used to test your product concept against your potential target market niche. The advantages of performing market validation are assessment to whether a target audience is appropriate for your product, a test for your positioning, a way to generate new ideas for positioning, a test to see if your product provides real value to the target market, a way to learn new value statements, a deeper understanding of your target market, is better understanding of your target market purpose, behavior. Target market talent, target market validations. You want to test the market validations. Pharma talent is authority in this area. As a guide, you're testing a consumer product. You may want hundreds of interviews. A business-to-business product, you can often get a good market validation out of 1 to 20 interviews. Tip, pick the number of interviews you want and multiply it by 3 to get the number of contracts you're going to need. Test market validations. How do we find out people to interview? Cold calling. The most direct is a cold calling company. You ask the person for appropriate title and then tell them that you're seeking their advice on a particular new product. And people are more likely to talk to you if you're seeking the advice that they will find trying to sell them the product. Advertising. Online advertising is the fastest and most talented to find out the right audience through use of advertising. In electronic publication that goes to your target market, you may need an incentive for people to sign up for the interview. Test the market, validations, how to find people to interview. You want to use your network, your industry contacts, and their contacts. Be sure to let the interviewers know that you plan on conducting an interview. Set appointments as soon as they're possible and let them know how much their time will take. It's ideal to do some number of interviews in person. You will always get the information from somebody who's sitting in front of you and that you'll get over the phone. Web surveys come with a word of caution, the type of information that you're trying to get us used to do. Test market validations, conducting the interviews. Ideally, the product market manager should be conducting the interviews. Since you have the most intimate knowledge of the product and the market, then we gain most from talking to interviewees. However, this may not be possible for a product that will require a large number of interviews. You should certainly be involved in the first few interviews to understand the right questions are being asked. If you can't conduct the interviews yourself, try to sit in one of them. Okay, we have test the target market validations. Analyzing the data. Analyzing the data to work is interesting. It's a good idea to create a high energy summary that includes key findings and suggests changes in the market positioning, value statements, and target market. Can control your financial parameters. We want to create and present revenue forecasts for business startup to be tricky, too high, and they will be believed too conservative, have a lower interest of financial backers. Forecasting revenues really comes down to the growth rate and the rationale that makes it achievable. Growth rates in startups, however, are widely within the STEM industry by country and stage of development in the venture. Get control of your financial parameters. The revenue forecasts need to factor in STEM sectors with different setup times, adoption speed, sales cycles, and market opportunities. Different countries have different home market sizes, access to money and talent, and you're going to have the research needs to a robust reflection of all these factors. Evaluate customer acquisition cost. Customer acquisition cost is a metric which has been growing in use. Along with the emergence of online businesses, it means the price that you pay to acquire a new customer. It's the simplest form. It can be duty by dividing total costs associated with acquisition of the new customers within a specific time period. Successful web businesses have understood these metrics as they can easily measure them. However, there's a lot of value in looking at the same metrics for all the businesses. To contribute to the cost of the acquire of the customer, you're going to take the entire cost of the sales and markets over the given period, including salaries and other related expenses, and divided by the number of customers that you acquire for that period. What do you learn? You have a better understanding of the entrepreneurial potential after taking the multiple different self-assessments. You understand how to validate and incubate the STEM idea. And you know how to evaluate your business and innovation in 7 steps, and you understand the target market better. Okay, and that was women in STEM. Yes, you can be an entrepreneur too.
Before that, I was fast. When I was 9 years old, I went off to summer camp for the first time, and my mother packed me a suitcase full of books, which to me seemed like a perfectly natural thing to do, because in my family, reading was the primary group activity. And this might sound antisocial to you, but for us, it was really just a different way of being social. You had the animal warmth of your family sitting right next to you, but you were also free to go roaming around the adventure land inside your own mind. And I had this idea that camp was going to be just like this, but better. I had a vision of 10 girls sitting in a cabin, cozily reading books in their matching nightgowns. Camp was more like a keg party without any alcohol. And on the very first day, our counselor gathered us all together, and she taught us a cheer that she said we would be doing every day for the rest of the summer to instill camp spirit. And it went like this. R-O-W-D-I-E, that's the way we spell rowdy, rowdy, rowdy. Let's get rowdy.
All right, so that's a fun one. That's about power of introverts. But we're done for today. Thank you so much, everybody. Don't forget to do your summary and your discussion for the week. Bye.